So welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Mikel Arteta himself and 3 things he needs to solve before the Leeds United game and before we start playing any more games of football or we will collapse. Now I've already said I want Mikel Arteta out. Now this does not mean I'm out forever. Right now, I think there are better managers out there that could do a better job. That's basically my opinion on this. I never script any of my videos. I'm just talking from my heart. I'm talking what I think. And what I think is, I think there's better managers out there that can do better things than what Mikel Arteta is doing right now. And I think people are talking about creativity and the fact that we need creativity in this team. Yes, we do need creativity in certain positions. But you look at teams like Liverpool, they don't have a creative midfielder. And we're saying, oh, it's all the Mikel Arteta favourites are saying, or creative midfielder are needed. I do think a creative midfielder is needed, but I just don't think we're utilising our team properly, and a better manager would get more out of our players. And I think we have a top 4 squad, which is why I predicted a top 4 finish, but the manager isn't living up to his expectations. I want to go through 3 things that he needs to fix if we do want to challenge and try and go for that top 4, and we do need to fix before that Leeds United game. And that leads me straight on to my number 1 point, which is finding the creativity. Now, finding the creativity, this is a big part at the moment because a lot of facts that I have spoken on other people's streams, on other YouTuber streams, on my own videos, I've talked a lot about this. And the fact that Aubameyang and Lacazette have got less goals than Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire has got more shots than Aubameyang and Lacazette this season. That is worrying. Another stat that I did touch on previously is the fact that Arsenal in second half of matches have had less shots than any other team in England down to League 2. We're 92nd on that list. So that is again a very worrying stat, and we really do need to improve on that if we are going to make some progress. And I think that does stem down to the manager, which this is why I've been calling for the manager's neck, and this is just my opinion. But again, if we do well in the next few games, if I see an improvement in the creativity, in the way we are balancing things out, then hopefully I do make a change in my opinion. But for now, this is what I'm going to go for. If I do get this wrong, if Arteta does become the next Pep Guardiola like everyone thinks he will be, then I will turn my head and I will say he is the man to lead us forward. But at the moment he is not, and we are not finding the creativity within our squad. Someone like Martinelli, he is still out, and until he comes back, even though when he does come back, I doubt Mikel Arteta will actually play him, because again, that will lead on to one of our other points we'll talk about later in this video. But for now, finding the creativity, Willian, we signed him from Chelsea and he just hasn't been good enough. Willian, he was a player that had so much anticipation, so much experience, and someone who would give us that drive, that direction in the wing areas, but he just has not been good enough. Arteta has favoured him over the likes of Nicolas Pepe, who again, another point we'll go on to, just hasn't been good with using him in the right positions, using him in the right areas, and that's something Arteta needs to work on as well, finding the creativity, where you're going to deploy who, and I think that's a big aspect that Arteta is getting wrong at the moment. And I think with Willian, he's just not working out, and I think in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the bigger picture, I think we have made a huge financial mistake here, because we did pay nearly £200,000 a week to bring Willian to Arsenal, and he is on a 3-year contract, which will probably include quite a lot of add-ons and signing on bonuses, because it was a free transfer. So have we made a mistake signing Willian? I mean, I know I can't judge in a few months, but again, towards the end of the season, if he hasn't done enough, then again you'll have to ask a lot of questions. But moving on to the other side, the likes of Bukayo Saka, I think he's one player that has shown a lot of creativity, a lot of drive, but for some reason, when you have players around you that are just not bothered enough, it's just not working. And the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, everyone's saying play him down the middle. I want us to play him down the middle, because when we did play him down the middle against actually when Gabon played him down the middle in their international game, he actually scored. And that he hasn't scored for us in open play since the game against Fulham. Now I'm not going to sit here and act like he's rubbish on left wing, because last season at times, even under Unai Emery, he was actually really good on that left wing, but this season it's just not working, and teams have sussed him out, which is one of the reasons we have to change it up. And I think a good manager, a good feature of a good manager is that he changes things as per things are going, and he's just not changing it at the moment. And I think that's one thing he needs to look at before the Leeds United game, and to get us challenging for that top 4. Another aspect of creativity is down the middle. Now, we have been playing with Thomas Partey and Mohamed Elneny, especially in that game against Aston Villa, and we did play those two against Manchester United as well. Now, in those games, we didn't have a whole host of chances. We only won that game because we got a penalty, which again came down the wing. Down the middle, we were pretty hopeless in creating, and someone like Joe Willock, who again has been doing very well in the Europa League, yes, it's against sides like Molde, Dundalk, but still, if he's scoring, if he's creating, if he's doing things that are not already in our squad, then I don't see why he's not getting a chance, which is why one of the reasons I will blame Mikel Arteta, because someone like Dani Ceballos isn't bringing anything to the season. The only reason we brought him back on a loan premise was because he played so well post-lockdown in that little period of Project Restart. Since then, he hasn't been good at all. He hasn't really done anything for the squad, even though I think right now he would probably still go into my best 11, because I think overall he could have better games than Mohamed Elneny, but even him, I thought after when Thomas Partey came off injured against Aston Villa, he was very shocking. We need to find a way to get Ceballos creating, because you know he came in as that sort of creative midfielder under Unai Emery's reign, and he just hasn't been that player. And I think we have to play him more advanced if we're not going to play Joe Willock. You know, we don't have that advanced midfielder, and I think we need that sort of player, because we're not doing enough in the wings to win games, win football games. There's only so many games you can win 1-0, because you know you won't always get lucky in every game, and you won't always take your chances in every game. So you know you can't always rely on 1-0 results. You need to be able to rely on creating many opportunities, shooting many shots, and that is something we're just not doing at the moment. So that moves me on to my second point that Mikel Arteta needs to sort out before the Leeds United game and to challenge for a top spot is, what is our best 11? What is our best 11? Now, this is something that Arteta has been toying with, and he just hasn't figured it out yet. You know, if you've been managing for 10 months, nearly a year now for Mikel Arteta, yes, I know a lot of that's been under lockdown constraints. That was 3 months, by the way, so he still had a good 7-8 months, which is one of the myths people have been talking about. Oh, he's had 6 months off. He's not had 6 months off, he's had 3 months off. So looking at in that sort of retrospect, he's not sorted out his best 11. What is our best 11? I just want to go through what my best 11 would be. So I would probably go with Leno in goal. I would go with a 4 at the back with Maitland-Niles. I would go with Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney, and I think my 3 in midfield with the players we have would be Partey, Elneny, and probably Ceballos. That would probably be my 3 in midfield. You could even throw Joe Willock in there, but moving into my front 3, I'd probably go with Saka on the left, Aubameyang down the middle, and Pepe on the right. I think that is probably our best 11 at the moment. Yes, maybe we are looking at players like Dominic Szoboszlai who could help us improve, but I think Arteta needs to sort out a best 11, because you know you need a best 11 because you have to have consistency within your squad. Yes, he did go with the exact same 11 that he did go with against Old Trafford, but again, they're 2 different teams. You have to set up differently. You know that you have to go with a different team that's parking the bus at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and you have to go with a different team that's going, you know, at home to Aston Villa. You can't go with the exact same team. That's where I think there needs to be some change, but I think overall we need consistency with our side, consistency within our formation, something that Arteta is not bringing to the table, and that does play on the player's mind. Someone like Willian has actually come out and said that he's struggling to cope with Arteta's tactics. He doesn't know what he's doing, and that's something Arteta needs to look at and address, because moving forward, if we don't have that consistency, players will be confused and they will start to turn against him, and that's where you start losing the dressing room. And I think this is something I'm seeing from now, and other fans will see from later, but again, we really need to improve on this going in to this Leeds United game. And the last point, last but not least, is man management. Something Arteta really needs to sort out is man management. He's really struggling to do that at the moment. There's so many numerous examples going all the way back to January with Gabriel Martinelli, where he won Player of the Month for scoring that wonder goal against Chelsea, running the length of the pitch. And you know, in January he played so well, but then he got benched until March for some reason. I don't know why. That's just bad man management, because you know you're just losing the confidence of the player. And in March he came on against Olympiacos and gave the assist for Aubameyang's overhead kick. So where was Martinelli in that game? Where was he? Where was Martinelli through February and most way into March? You know, we need these players to play more games, and Arteta is just not doing that. Another example is Nicola Pepe. You know, his confidence does get dampened. You know, when he came on against Sheffield United, play well, and then after the international break he doesn't start against Manchester City, he doesn't play these games. You know, under Arteta, when has he ever had 4 or 5 games straight of him playing? He's never had that. And when you don't have a consistency with picking him, then you can't expect consistency with the player, because you know they're just not going to perform, and they're not going to have the consistency with the tactics, with the style of play. If you're not going to play them consistently, it's just such a frustrating thing with Mikel Arteta, which again is one of the reasons I'm saying Arteta out. And I think there are other managers out there like Jose Mourinho, well obviously not now, but before there was, that does have better man management and plays players when they're good. And it's not a hard thing to do either. With Lacazette, first 3 games of the season he got 3 goals. What's the reward? Benched against Sheffield United, benched against Man City to play Willian up front. And when you're going to play Willian up front and you're dropping Lacazette, that's obviously going to play on his mind, because you know he's the striker and he's not, and because it didn't work, he's just lost his confidence and he just doesn't look bothered anymore. Lacazette just doesn't look bothered, and it looks like he just doesn't care about playing football anymore, which again I don't blame him for, because you know, the manager has ruined his confidence, and I think now we're probably looking to get rid of him and probably bring in someone like Odsonne-Édouard, which is what I wanted in the summer. I didn't actively look to try, you know, say, oh, Lacazette out. But again, if we had the opportunity to get Edouard, I would have definitely gone ahead with it if I was Arteta in the board. And now, you know, we're in a situation with him where we're going into the last year of the contract, last year of his contract now, so we do have to make a decision on him. So those are 3 points for Mikel Arteta to sort out before the Leeds United game. I'm not sure what I'll title this video yet, but yeah, these are 3 things he needs to sort out. Just a quick recap: first of all, finding the creativity; second of all, working out a best lineup; and third of all, fixing that man management. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you do agree with these points, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you disagree or don't disagree, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.